Alright guys, let's talk about the Imax B-6 charger for a few minutes here. This is mine. I have just finished charging a 3-cell LiPo, actually balancing. Let me see here. Now you'll notice that the voltage says 4.2, 4.2, 4.19. Looks pretty good, right? Okay. Now let's do a quick little test with a digital multimeter on the battery. Alright. Can you see that? 4.14. That's not good. Check the next one. 8.31, so 8.31 minus 4.14 would give us 4.16, somewhere in there. And the total voltage, it's supposed to read 12.6. 12.4, that's not good. Okay, now I've known about this problem for a little while, and let me try to explain why this is and what you can do to prevent it, what you can do temporarily about it until you get another charger or are able to calibrate this one. The problem is, well, at least I believe, this is not a genuine one. I bought this off eBay. I didn't know that there was a difference between genuine and not, but if you want to check if yours is or not, there's a little sticker on the back or the side, and it should say scratch off for security code. See how mine just says CQ passed or QC passed? What that means is that this is a knockoff. Now it's the exact same parts as far as I know, same manufacturer, but the difference is the company that sells them, I believe on the genuine Imax B-6 they actually calibrate them, and these knockoffs, obviously it's not calibrated. Now, one thing that you can do, okay, is you're going to access the service menu, unplug the charger, okay, let it be unplugged for a few seconds. Zoom in. Alright, you're going to hold decrease and enter. Keep holding. Okay. Now after holding decrease and enter, you're going to be in a service menu. There's two service menus. The other service menu, whatever you do, don't access it until you have yourself a fully charged 6S LiPo that has each cell at 4.2 volts. Because if you can only calibrate it once using that other menu, which I believe is, well, I'm not even going to tell you because I don't want to be responsible. Just remember that this menu that you can access over and over is decrease and enter. Okay, now as you can see here, I already have the value set at -20. I'm going to put it back to 0. This is where it will come. It'll be at 0. Now you're going to plug your battery in. Just not the balance port, just the regular one. So you're going to plug your battery in. It's gonna estimate at what it thinks the voltage is. Now it says 12.52, so I'm going to start pushing minus. Keep pushing it until you get 12.39, 12.4, whatever the battery really is. Now as you can see here, I've maxed it out. -20, it's close, 12.4 volts. So we're going to go ahead and push enter. It's saving that. So what we have now is I've calibrated the balance lead, or not the non-balance lead, the regular lead. So now charging on nickel metal hydride batteries or anything else is going to be a lot closer. However, the balancer voltage is still going to be way off. So let me give you a quick demonstration of what that means. Plugging the battery back in. Okay, let's zoom back a little bit. Alright, we're going to go to balance, start it up. Now what you'll notice here is that voltage is reading close, 12.43 to what the battery actually is. But see how this is reading 4.20 still, 4.19? That indicates that, and if you were to add 4.2, 4.2, 4.2, you would get 12.6 here. So you can see that this value is not in any way connected to this value. Now, the battery should finish within a couple seconds here because the charger thinks that it's fully charged. Okay, so the battery is full. Now let me show you what you can do. I don't know if you're gonna like this or not. Now you can either run your batteries at 4.13, 4.14 volts a cell, or however far off your calibration is, or what you can do is unplug the balance lead. And I assure you that this is perfectly safe as long as you do this exactly as I show you, and as long as you have batteries that have cells that are fairly matched and equal and take a charge at similar rates, which my batteries are all Turnigy Nanotechs and they're all new, you know, less than a year old. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to back out of here and I'm going to go to nickel metal hydride bath. Just remember your balance lead is disconnected now because now you're going to only charge it through the standard lead, which is calibrated correctly. So we're going to go to nickel metal hydride charge and set the current limit really low. For demonstration purposes, I'm going to set it at 0.5 amp, but I would suggest going lower than that because the slower you charge it at this point, the probably the more evenly the cells will take a charge. Okay, we're going to start it up. Now you'll notice the voltage, 12.43, it was what it started, which is fairly close to what the actual is. Now what we're looking for here is, supposing you're charging a 3 cell, you're going to charge it until the voltage reading is 12.6, which is exactly what a 3 cell that's fully charged should read. So if you had a 2 cell, it would be 8.4 volts. If you had, well, and so on and so forth. You can do the math on that. Just remember that it's 4.2 volts times however many cells you have that you're charging at the time. Now somebody has already accessed the calibration menu, not the one that I showed you guys, but the other one, and it can only be done once. That's right, you heard me correctly. I mean, once you do it, you are locked out. There's no way to re-access that menu, there's no way to recalibrate it. So it appears that somebody accessed the calibration menu and they calibrated it with a dead battery, basically. They calibrated it with a battery that was reading low voltage, 4.13, 4.14 volts. And that's at least my guess. So being that we're locked out now and I'm a little bit anal about my voltages, I'm going to be getting another charger. Now what I recommend you do is get a name brand charger. I can't verify that a genuine Imax B-6 is going to be any better, but there's a high-tech ×4 charger that has basically the same operating system as this charger. It's got 4 screens. And from the reviews I've read, it's actually calibrated properly from the factory, which is, I mean, obviously when you buy a name brand charger, it's going to cost you 4 or 5 times as much, but the quality is going to be much higher. So that's what I recommend that you do. Now also, don't assume that your charger is going to be off the same direction as mine. Your charger could be overcharging each battery. I would assume that that's a little bit less likely, But I have read online about people saying that one cell gets charged to 4.25 volts, and from what I've seen here, that's more than possible. So this is kind of disappointing, because I've been using this charger for a while and I just assumed that it was good enough. It's at 4.18 right now. It's going to be too tricky for me to show you that, but so if I was to continue charging it until it read 12.6 volts and stayed at it, then it would be at 4.2 volts a cell, give or take a little bit on each cell. You know, one cell might be 4.21 or 4.22, and the other one might be 4.19, 4.18, which is much closer than the 25 millivolts that it's off, putting it at 4.13, 4.14.